There we go. Okay, so she's recording, so we can get started.
Yay. Well, thanks everybody. I'm excited to spend the next 50 or so minutes with you. Like Hannah said, we'll do some Q&A after Sarah and I get done talking. So you won't just have to listen for the next 50 straight minutes, but feel free to use the chat, ask questions at any time. If I start to become a robot or freeze, just type in the chat so I don't continue to speak like a robot, and I'll get my internet fixed. But thanks everybody. My name's Natasha, and Hannah introduced me to Young Living. I actually first ordered Ningxia, but now I have switched over to learning more about oils, which has been really fun. So what we're here to do tonight is just kind of go over kind of at a foundational level some basics about essential oils, or if you're already familiar with oils, this is just a great refresher. And I feel like I learn something new, a different use for an oil, or just a life hack on these Zoom calls. So definitely beneficial for everybody. And I think the important thing is not every person needs every single oil. So don't leave here thinking you need every single oil, but we'll talk about a lot of different things, issues, and just kind of, like I said, life hacks before. So if anything perks up or you have questions, give anyone here who loves Young Living a shout and we'll help you out. So go ahead, use the chat feature, or you can unmute yourself and shout things. And if this sounds like you or something you struggle with, again, actions down at the bottom next to record. So if you click it, you can do a little clapping hands, you can do a little thumbs up. Yes. So anyone struggle with digestion issues, or, and it's okay, that's embarrassing sometimes. You don't have to be embarrassed. Hello, me. Let's see. Oh, hey, Ashley, welcome. Let's see here. How about energy? Yes. And if you're like, I don't struggle with energy, I drink coffee, I would say you probably struggle with energy. How about mental clarity, focus? Yes. Mom. That's funny. And then muscles, any sore muscles, fatigue? I just turned 28 and I feel like my husband just turned 32 and it's like, oh, you're not allowed to complain about sore muscles. You can be sore at this. You can be sore at any age. And then anyone have trouble sleeping? I'll tell a sleep story in a little bit. Yes, I hear you, Hannah. Sleep, it's been a struggle for me too. And then skin. Clearly, I struggle with some skin issues, don't we all? Especially when I eat too much sugar or things I shouldn't be. And then last but not least, we've got a lot of ladies here. Hormones in balance. Yes, we've got some great stuff for hormones, emotions, all of the above. Well, again, if you just said, oh my goodness, Natasha's going to tell me I need an oil for every single one of these things. The cool thing I found is that a lot of oils have multiple uses, and you can really go from your diffuser to a roll-on to ingesting oil. So there's tons of different ways. But kind of what got me started on oils, like I said, after I fell in love with Ningxia, I wanted to learn more about just overall health and wellness, and really from a natural approach. And essential oils checks all of those boxes. The reason why my husband loves essential oils is because he's one of those people that needs a clean smell. So neutral is not clean, like scented is clean. And so when I started diffusing Envision, especially, he was like, what is this? We need it everywhere in our house. And that's when he was like, this is awesome. So that's kind of my update and my journey on essential oils. And kind of the last thing we'll talk about is, yes, thank you, Hannah. We're going to talk about our wonderful premium starter kit and a lot of the oils that are included in a little bit. But I actually just had my husband order this. Yes, you'll hear PSK, that's for short. So we have my husband's coming in the mail in a couple days, and he's really excited, but I'm secretly excited too. And I should say that I'm co-teaching tonight with Sarah, so I'm going to pass it over to her to give you a little more information.
All right, so we want to talk about oils and the part that first of all, like how you can use them, but also that it's the lifeblood of the plant. So we'll talk a little more about the distillation process later in the class, but just thinking about it from the perspective, I had to shift my mindset like, well, what do oils really do for me? And I had to start thinking, well, this is all people had for hundreds and thousands of years, were plants and herbs and natural remedies. So there must be something to it. And so once I started kind of thinking about that and looking into all of that, I realized that the distillation process, it's pulling all of those good things out of the plants that we're using, and being able to utilize it. So there are 3 ways to utilize it. You can use it aromatically, like in your diffuser there. Thank you, Hannah. And Young Living has awesome diffusers you can pick from. But aromatically, it just, like Natasha was saying, it really helps bring that clean smell into the house, whatever smell you're dealing with. Put thieves in it, boost some immunity. You can, put some lemon in there and orange and help with emotions. There's just unlimited things you can do aromatically. And honestly, that's why I got in it, because I realized how toxic candles were. And Sophie was actually the one that got me into it and kind of told me some more about it. And I was like, oh, I want my house to smell good. I was like, I don't need it for other stuff, but I want my house to smell good. So aromatically, and then topically is the next one. So you put it right on your skin. Now there's different dilutions that come with that, and it'll come with that on the bottle. Or when you look it up on the website, it'll tell you that you need to mix it with a carrier oil. And a carrier oil can be coconut oil. I use grapeseed oil. There's a whole bunch of them you can use. And then last, you can ingest oils. Now, the oils, yes, Ninja, it's a Ninja. Now, the oils that we ingest are going to be the ones in the white bottle. I don't think I have my white bottle. There you go. Thank you. So all of those white ones are safe for ingestion. And some of them I use them a lot for cooking, or to put in drinks, that type of stuff. But it's confusing because people will see like a lemon. Oh yes. And in capsules too to take. Yes. A lot of people get confused because they see a lemon regular essential oil and a lemon vitality oil. The reason for that is because oils can only have 2 purposes. And so we are not allowed at Young Living to put more than 2 purposes use an oil for that. So that's why there's a separate one, but it's the exact same oil. So that's a little bit about how you can use them and what it does for you. So I'll turn it back over to Natasha.
So the question always is, haven't you heard someone say essential oils don't work? I know that people say yes, because I think at one point I probably said this. I bought in a no-name brand, just 2 for $10 bottles, I think, of eucalyptus and tea tree. And I wanted to put them in my shower to kind of have that spa serenity feel. Well, I swear I had to dump half of the bottle into the shower, and I lost the smell in about 30 seconds. And I was like, why didn't this work? And then I realized, well, 1, I don't know the concentration of this oil. 2, if I wanted to learn more, I can't call this random company, or I could, or I'd probably just be on hold for hours. And 3, it says tea tree, it says eucalyptus, but is that really all that's in it? So that's why when I started talking to Hannah about Young Living, knowing that I could ask her questions, that I felt comfortable. I knew Hannah, I trusted Hannah. If she's using these products, I feel confident using them too. And if I had any questions, like I said, she'd be there. And so I gave something else a try before Young Living that I bought at a little who even knows what shop. And it was a lavender calming sleep spray. I think I got the worst night's sleep of my life because I expected it to work well and then it didn't. And it's the same story, is you just don't have a source, a contact person who you can go to really know what you're ingesting, applying topically, or diffusing. And so when you're caring about what you're putting in your body and in your environment, it's really important to be using oils that do work. And again, Hannah mentioned this earlier. I'm certainly not a doctor, but it's just fun to kind of share our personal experiences. And especially later on when we talk about oils in the PSK, just a lot of fun, really great uses for those. But if you've ever been a naysayer or you know a naysayer, I would just say, give this a shot or just ask questions if you want to know more. And again, the distillation process plus purity, those go hand in hand in why Young Living is really just the greatest quality oil. So Hannah used this analogy, but if you were to brew coffee in the morning and you put water in your coffee grounds, that first pot that you brew is going to be dark. It's going to be rich. It's going to be bold. And it's going to taste like coffee, how it's supposed to. Keep the same grounds, make another pot. It might be a little bit lighter. It might still taste like coffee, but you're slowly losing what's so great about coffee. Do it a third time, even less. Fourth time, you're basically drinking not coffee, you're drinking water that has like a nasty coffee aftertaste. And that's the same thing with essential oils. Once we have coffee essence, once we have used a plant, Young Living, I'm personally not farming the oils, but basically as close as you can get. Sarah will talk to seed to seal shortly. But once the plant has been utilized and we've maximized the benefits of it, that's it for that plant. So you're not going to get these watered down, cheap oils. You're going to get good, high quality oil. I say the same thing with wedding photography. I remember being like, I am willing to pay for a good wedding photographer because you want those pictures to last forever. It is the same thing with oils. These can fit any budget, but there really is a reason why Young Living is so well known, has such a great reputation, because we use high quality oils, which also means free from synthetics. I, again, give my daughter the Citrus Fresh and the lemon and the grapefruit vitality essential oils in her water. And if I didn't know that what was in that, there's no way that I would ever give that to her. So again, there's no added synthetics. There's nothing that you can't pronounce. It's all really great for you, which is a perfect segue into learning a little bit more about Seed to Seal.
So Young Living's, I guess you could say, slogan would be that it is seed to seal, meaning they are in control and supervision of everything that happens with their oils from the time that seed goes in the ground to the time it comes to your front door, which is really, to me, makes me feel good about it. Just like when I want to buy organic vegetables, you know, it makes me feel a lot better when I go to my local place where I know the person and they can tell me the farm they came from, you know, versus just getting them at the supermarket and trusting that they're organic or okay. So Young Living owns a lot of their farms, and anyone is able to visit them, which to me brings a level of like transparency to that. and it's awesome that they're not trying to hide anything. They're not trying to hide how they do it. They want you to come see it. They want to show you the process, and so you can really understand the quality of the oils. And so like Natasha was talking about, distillation, that was the example I was going to use too, the coffee, which I think is just perfect to understand. They only take that first distillation. They don't take anything after that because they want their oils to be concentrated. They want them to be powerful, and they want that to be what goes to customers, which I think is huge. The oils are tested in-house, but also by a third party. So people are saying, well, if they can test it themselves, you know, is it really that great? They could be biased, but they actually get third party people in there to test as well, so that they can compare those two, which again, to me, kind of goes back to this is quality, and they really want to be above board on a lot of this. All of their pest control is done using essential oils, and so there's no added gunk in what you're getting. All the weeding is done by hand, and they've been around for over 25 years. And so, you know, some people might be skeptical about oils and all this, but I'm like, if a company's been around for this long, you know, they're doing something right. And people trust them. So they have an awesome selection. I want to say, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they have over 600 products. Is that right? Which is crazy. People think, oh, it's just oils. It's just the 12 oils that come in your starter kit. No, go on youngliving.com and just look, and you will have a heyday. It's crazy. They have everything from beauty products, makeup, nutrition, pet products, like everything under the sun. Supplements, I use a lot. So we have all of that. And then the last part is the support and education and community. And that doesn't come with every Young Living team. I think I was very fortunate to join with Sophie, and like joining the way I did because I have learned so much about them from someone that was thinking, oh, I'm just going to get them to make my house smell good, to now I use everything. And I have like completely switched over all the products in my house to non-toxic Young Living things. So it's really a process, but the support is everything. These classes, having the Facebook groups or chats where you can just go ask questions is really, really, really helpful. So hopefully it's making you guys kind of think about what can we use oils for. So now we're going to get to find out about them, my favorite part. So Natasha's going to start us off with the first part of what is in our premium starter kit.
And I have my lovely model, Hannah. And
White.
Again, these are just my personal quick tidbits, but if there's something that you want to share, feel free to jump in. So Valor, we have to start with Valor. It's the best. I just ran out of mine. I can't even explain the smell. It lessens my anxiety. I put it in the shower again in the morning. I have the empty bottle in there, like huffing the last little bit of it. And my husband loves it too. So if you want a really neutral, appealing scent for everybody, I don't like to use girly or masculine because gender norms, we don't need, it's 2020. But it's just a great scent, I personally think, for everyone. And it's not overpowering at all. So Valor, it's the best. And this is what I love about Young Living. I got Valor for free with Essential Rewards 2 months ago. And it is such a high quality and such a popular oil. And the fact that I got it for free, I mean, it's just amazing. I love it. Panaway, Hannah kind of yelled at me the other day because I hadn't used it yet. No, not yelled at me, but this is great for anyone who's active. If you have any soreness or tension, I know a lot of people will put the rollerball top on Panaway. I've heard it's really good for shin splints too. So if anyone has experienced that, before. But I'm excited. This comes again in the PSK, so that'll be at my doorstep in a couple days. And I'm just going to steal it. Eric doesn't even need to know that it's in there. Frankincense. I love frankincense. Okay. I put this in a serum that I use on my face, and you're like, Natasha, you just told us you were breaking out. I had a bunch of stuff left over in like the back of my makeup drawer that I just wanted to use up instead of just throw out. Throw all of your cheap stuff away, because I stopped using my face oil with the frankincense in it, and this is what happens. So I'm back on the frankincense train. So good for the face, such just like a nice earthy scent. And if it was good enough for the three wise men, Hannah, to give to baby Jesus, we should all be implementing it in our life. Right? Okay. DiGize. We talked about this earlier. So if your ears, listen up, if you had said that you had digestive issues, and it's really easy to remember, DiGize, digestion. So it's not the best smelling oil, but what it lacks in scent, it will be essentially worth its weight in gold in what it can do for you internally. So upset stomach, just good gut health. Gut health is something that people are finally starting to pay attention to, and they're like, well, if I fix my gut health, I realize that my overall health is so much better. And yes, our gut is just tied to our overall sense of well-being. So again, we have the little capsule. So if you don't like the taste of it, that's a great way to get it down. And you can also mix it with another oil if you want to ingest it, that tastes better. But if you said that your gut or your belly was upsetting you, definitely give DiGize a try. You could pair it with Citrus Fresh, my favorite. I have it in my water right here. I drink it every day. And like I said, I put just one little drop in my daughter's water, and she thinks she's getting a treat. And it is so much more affordable than buying a pack of the seltzer water or anything else. And such a little bit goes such a long way with flavor. Thieves, holidays all year round, and so many good properties. You can diffuse Thieves. Again, I love Young Living's dishwasher powder from the Thieves line, and it actually makes doing the dishes a little bit more bearable. Now, I'm not going to say it's fun, but it feels nice. I kind of feel like I'm getting a little steam when I open the hot dishwasher too, and it smells like Thieves afterwards. So just love that. And yes, stock up on Thieves now before it gets really trendy before the holidays. That's a good tip, Sophie. Peppermint is another one that I especially like to lean on when I'm not feeling well. Again, white label, you can go ahead and ingest it. I actually used peppermint oil when I was pregnant and helped with nausea. Anytime I've eaten too much, which is pretty much every weekend, I will put a couple drops of peppermint oil and jojoba directly on my stomach. And honestly, no one likes getting sick, but I really don't like feeling nauseous, and it helps me fall asleep and feel better the next morning. And then lemon. Love lemon. I put this in my elderberry syrup. Lemon is just such an inexpensive oil that has literally so many good uses and is just a generally appealing scent. I mean, who doesn't like the smell of fresh lemon? It just smells clean, fresh, bright. I absolutely love it. And gosh, if you don't want a PSK after that, I mean, that's just, it's a win. It really is. And now I can't wait for my husband's to get here.
So now I'm going to talk about the other 4 oils that we have in there. I'm actually really excited to talk about these because besides Valor, like these 4 are probably some of my most used. So next one we have is Raven. This one probably sat on my shelf for like 8 months, didn't touch it, didn't even open it, didn't know what to do with it. And then I was like, I'm going to look this up. And I looked it up, and it is amazing for all things sinuses, which is something I really struggle with. So rubbing a little bit on your chest, it has wintergreen in it, which is an oil that really helps to just like open you up. I mean, if you think about like chewing gum, that's gonna like, you know, make you feel a whole lot better. Yeah, so breathing support, yes, working out is a great time to use it just to make sure you're getting in a lot of oxygen, fresh air, all of that. But also if you're having just some gunk in your chest or in your sinuses, it really helps to clear those out. The next one we have is Stress Away. Oh, just kidding. Do we want to do lavender? Sorry. I messed you up. Okay, lavender. So lavender, I don't even know where to start. Lavender is like the go-to of all oils. You can use it for sleep. You can use it for skin. You can use it for emotions, calming, like literally everything. Yes, the Swiss Army knife of oils. It is good for all the things. My favorite personal example for lavender, we have a Dutch oven, and I took it out of, I was using it, and I don't know why, but I just forgot and took off the lid like while it was still hot. So I ended up burning 3 of my fingers like on it. Immediately put it under cold water and put lavender on it. Y'all, it didn't even bubble, like did not even blister. And I just kept putting it on, and I was like showing people my hand. They're like, there's nothing there. And I'm like, that's the point. That's why it's so exciting. So anyway, lavender is all the good things, helps me with sleep too, is another big reason why I diffuse it a lot. Okay, now on to Stress Away. Sorry, Hannah. So Stress Away is that, and Valor are probably like my favorite oils of all time. It's amazing. Yes, and I brought mine because I wanted to show the little roller filament you can put on it, because this is how I use it. If I don't have like 5 bottles of this in my house at any given time, I like go into panic mode. I'm like, oh, I'm running out of Stress Away. So, you know, I'm not a type A personality at all that deals with stress. So Stress Away is really good for stress. I think Sophie said it earlier about not being on board with the whole like oils and emotions. I was that person too. Probably haven't used the last year or so. I've started to use them for emotions, and my goodness, it's made a difference. Just with stress, and therefore like helping with my migraines, helping to get those under control, and figuring all that out. So it has been like a key piece. I've been migraine free for 11 months, and I attribute oils to a lot of that. So last but not least, for the oils, we have Peace and Calming. This is another great emotional oil. I know my mom friends with kids, I recommend this one all the time to diffuse in their room, or just to put a little bit on their feet when you just need them to calm the heck down. So Peace and Calming is a really good one for that. So then the other couple things that come in your, premium starter kit is your Ninja. You get 2 packs of the Ninja, which I got this, and I'm pretty sure it sat in my fridge for a few months, and I was like, I'm not going to drink a weird pack of oil and berries, and I don't know what it is. But I tried it. It's delicious. It's like a mix of, I don't even know, raspberry, elderberry syrup. Like, it's so good. Kind of like in a little smoothie, and it's really good in the fridge. It's related, so wolfberry, from what it's made of, is related to elderberry. So all of those healing properties that elderberry has and those antioxidants, Ninja Red has that too. Plus all of the oils that are in it is just amazing for immune support. I drink it every day during like cold and flu season. I just start and drink it every single day. Then the last two we have, I use both of these at school all the time. So I like to give these as gifts to my teacher friends because this is great. So we have our Thieves spray in that little spray bottle that Hannah's holding up. It's great just to spray on surfaces, keyboards, your phone, whatever you have at work. If you're in a restaurant and, don't carry around your 16-ounce bottle of Thieves cleaner, this is great to have your little 1-ounce bottle just to have. The next one, and last but not least, is the hand sanitizer. And I don't know how many of you have dried out hands lately because you've used hand sanitizer so much. Thieves does not do that. It actually moisturizes your hands, which I know, mind blown. I was not ready to understand that, and it smells like peppermint. It doesn't smell just like alcohol. But it is one that I believe, what is it? How much alcohol does it have to have? 60? Is it 60 or 80% in it? I forget, but it's on the approved list for hand sanitizers to kill all the things. So those are definitely my must-haves, and I love that they put these in the premium starter kit so you can just get to use them, experiment with them, all the things. So, all right, that is everything in the premium starter kit. So I'll pass it back to Natasha to kind of talk about it a little bit more.
Yes, so we're on the home stretch, and there's just a little bit. It seems like a lot, but that's a small piece of everything that Young Living offers, and really just different uses of essential oils for every person. But the good news is you don't have to be an expert. We have a great pocket reference guide. Hannah, do you have yours to show up? It's fine if you don't. Don't worry. It's a cute Chelsea for the win. If there were bonus points, you would get them today, Chelsea, but there aren't. So yes, pocket reference guide. Again, you don't have to be an expert. We're not doctors, but this is a great use in addition to all of the lovely ladies who are involved in Young Living here. And you can use oils daily. You can have something come up and you need one. So flip through the pocket resource guide and just go crazy. And if you're unlike me, I'm doing a social media cleanse right now. If you are on Facebook, we also have a Facebook group that Hannah's going to talk a little bit about, since again, I'm off
on the socials.
So
we do have a really awesome Facebook group called the School of Oily Goodness. You can go in there and you can look up different things. Maybe you're trying to find something to use oils for, and a lot of people share testimonies and will share what's worked for them, so that's really awesome. We also have the app. Natasha, are you going to talk about the app, or do you want me to?
Look at everybody throwing their app up there. The app is great for both Young Living ladies, and then also I think my favorite thing is when I first got introduced to Young Living was the quiz that Hannah had me take on the app. So it's great. It's a great business tool, but it's also great if you're trying to figure out what you might want to get started with. It just really, it's like looking in a mirror. You put in your answers and you're like, oh, this is everything it's telling me I should work on. Great. Okay, I'll do that. So it's called Life Steps, and it is free in the App Store.
And Sophie said, it is exclusive to the people that are teaching this class. We're two separate teams, but we are like best buds. So we love teaching. We call these co-op classes. So we get together, we cooperate and do these. Our teams, though, this app is exclusive for us. So you can go sign up with somebody else, some random whoever. You can get your Walmart oils, but you're not going to get the kind of resources that you're going to get and the kind of hand holding and helping empower you to figure out how to use your oils from any of that. So
yeah, and ask questions. I'm just going to throw that out there because Sophie knows I asked 200,000 questions, and I still do. I'm like, hey, what do I do with this, or how do I fix this? And it's just great to know that you actually have like friends to do this with, and you're not just like getting a box in the mail and then being left alone.
Well, thanks everybody. Feel free to unmute if anyone has any questions or if anyone else had a testimony that they just have a burning desire to share with everyone. The floor is open.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Mom. I already have a list of things that I think you would love to try.
I bet you do.
Anna, what do you give your pups? Do we have something for anxiety in pups?
Yeah, so there's a specific line of oils for pets called Animal Sense, and there's an oil called TOA. It almost smells like a dog version of Peace and Calming, though. So I use Peace and Calming a lot for my dog, or if I have TOA on hand, I personally will use TOA as well, because I just kind of use those two interchangeably. So like those are oils that you can use either diffusing like in their atmosphere or, petting it on them. You want to be careful when you're first introducing oils to them, just that it's not too strong. And we can kind of talk more of that stuff. But I also add lavender, like I'll make lavender treats, or I'll add lavender, not all the time. In the spring, I actually do add lavender to my dog's food all spring long because they get really pink and they get really bad allergies, and that really helps with their allergies. But if I notice like their mood is a little off, I'll give them a treat or I'll add some lavender to their food, and that helps as well.
We also did a pets and did we do it? It was like pets and kiddos, right? Or something like that. Like
Pets and oils.
pets
We
and
did
all
a
that
pets.
stuff. Anyway, okay. So, and Hannah was one of the teachers for that one. It's really, really good. And she really kind of breaks down like a tick wipe that she has, to